the side of Faze, it has to be Abizi. That's the guy who's leading in S&D when you talk about the KDs. And then the opposite side, Hook. Hook's the guy that can shut down that aggression on the side of Abizi. But early into this round, it's going to be Optic on the attack. Abizi with no dead silence earned. No hesitation already on his flank.
Yeah, and if you're Texas, I mean, you don't expect for someone to go for a flank off the rip. Understandably so. No dead silence, but it doesn't matter. Abizi, first blood master, already able to make that presence felt. In the meantime, Texas plants bomb, 3v4.
3v4 now. So now if you are Optic Texas, just try to iron up and play for a kill. You still have to be aware of Abizi on that flank. It's causing him so many problems. Everyone just checking their back end. Right now, Dash is in the spot to at least watch over the bomb, but Sim finds one, 4v2.
Big gunfight victory there for Ghosty. As we said, time continues to tick away, and it's all going to be on to him. It's going to have to be a round clutch all by himself. That's going to be 2 time. I was going to say it's going to start to become a factor, but Slasher is able to wipe away the rookie, and from there, the retake is in. It starts with a first blood, and it ends with a defuse. Faze go up 1-0.
Yeah, BC just set the tone right there. Once he finds that first kill on the flank, even though the bomb does get planted, you see all of Optic Texas. Everyone was just trying to play for a corner. You don't want to get some bad timing, but eventually when they take care of him, the rest of Atlanta Faze, they flood on in. They're able to find the final kill onto Ghosty and take round 1.
We talked so much about the history between these teams. The last time they faced off, it was an El Asilo search and destroy, and we've talked about it, right? The crowd is definitely aware of it. The streak that Faze win on, it was an El Asilo search destroy victory that they had over Texas. So we're talking about prior matchups. If we're talking about history, these two teams have it on this very map and mode. Stuns are out, and Dashi, the glint of the scope has definitely been revealed. So with that in mind, Faze deciding to back on up. Shotzzy still eager for information as player 6 and Abizi looks to get aggressive again.
Abizi, he might have found the timing, but Shotzzy, he's just going to get away with his life. Can't find the kill. Abizi with another first blood so far in this search and destroy. 3v4 situation as the bomb is now going to get planted at B.
Abizi's still up here. Dashi did not spot him just toward his side. So with that, he definitely has heard him now. Pistol out. Oh, one more bullet. And it surely would have done the trick. Brings it now into the 2v3. Bomb has been planted. And Faze, they've got the info.
And right now, Celium, he's the player all the way across the map, and he's watching that cross. He allows Slasher to go for that late flank as he takes down Ghosty. So now Dashi in the 1v3 with only 20 seconds left. It's not going to be an easy round. He gets sniffed out by Slasher. Now that's 2 rounds in a row from Atlanta Faze. Abizi once again with that first blood. You take down Shotzzy. Take all that map presence over towards that B site. You get it down. Eventually you set up your players to go for a couple flanks to close out the round. Atlanta Faze 2-0.
I tell you what, man. I mean, for Faze, you're talking about trying to rebound in this search destroy. Who are you going to rely on? The guy that we talked about it, right? Abizi, such an unbelievable search and destroy player. They're relying on him to walk away with those first bloods. So moving forward throughout the remainder of this game, if you're Texas, you've got to be aware of those early situations. You have to be aware of Abizi. This Faze, well, a little slow to arrive, but as we said, can it be Abizi again? 3 for 3.
Another first blood for Abizi. Now makes it another 3v4 situation. Optic just going to try to get this bomb down again. Trying to clutch up this time around into 3v4. Abizi already working his way through courtyard.
He can just kind of hang out here. I mean, you're watching the primary lane. Yep, yes indeed. Shotzzy falls. Ook not able to finish off that kill. That very well could turn the tide of the round. As we said, bomb is planted. Atlanta Faze, you definitely have to get a move on, but they're finding all the kills that they have to. Once more, it is left up to the Rook. Ghosty, 1v4, not able to hold it. Not able to lock it down. Abizi and Atlanta Faze, a commanding start to this search destroy.
Yeah, Abizi's just taking over, man. Another first blood on the round. Once he finds that kill, he wraps all the way through the courtyard side. Takes down the second, and then you see in that 4v2 situation, Atlanta Faze, they were playing for the information. One player shoots out towards white, then you have Hoop towards the courtyard side, and we're just playing for the kills before anyone decides to hop on that bomb. They find it, they successfully get the defuse, and so far, flawless search and destroy from Atlanta, 3-0.
Yes, indeed. Optic crowd trying to get behind their boys. It has not been a great performance so far from the SMG duo in Shotzzy and Hook. Still yet to get on the board as they will look to try to change that up. Bit of better movement there for Shotzzy, but can it actually equal out to a round? That will be the question as Texas desperately look to try and walk away with the first blood. And it very well could be Hook that's able to lead the charge. Dead silence popped.
Dead silence pop. Does he decide to push his way through these double doors? It's Atlanta Faze, they're just playing a mid-map setup, just trying to cut off every single angle, making sure no players are going on that flank, but it's none other than Abizi.
There's no way, Jay.
Already finds himself in a great position.
There's no way. There is no way. 4 for 4 out of Abizi. Oh, Dashy goes low. At least evens things up. But for Texas, they have just had to work so hard. And being down in man count, Shotzi now brings it into the 3 versus 2, 30 seconds on the clock. And now for Faze, a pick would be huge. Slasher able to deliver as Hook does get found out, but started off as Atlanta Faze success. Texas eventually turned the tie, but now it's going to fall onto Shotzi again. Grabs the timing. Now into the 1v1. Slasher has yet to grab the bomb. Ant-Man to the rescue. Texas finally able to grab a round, but how much did it take?
Took Shotzi to find a 3-piece and clutch up a 1v2. Right there, Atlanta Faze. Once Shotzi finds that first kill in towards bottom pool, that's the player with bomb. Slasher was all the way already at that B site. Sellium was sitting towards top money. They just didn't want to put themselves in that situation to fight Shotzi in a close range engagement. Eventually don't work towards that bomb plan. Shotzi with a much needed clutch. Finally get one on the board for Optic.
See if Texas can start to build a little bit of something off of that as we head in now to round number 5. Shotzi understandably so. Gonna try to be the beacon for information. Meanwhile, you've got Ghosty toward the top side of your minimap. He's able to lay in a few shots. I believe that's towards Sellium. So shots exchanged, and now it's about time to get something going. Bomb in the back of Hook. The biggest thing for him, Jay, is a first pick would be huge. But if he dies, that bomb could be in a very awkward spot. As here comes the brigade.
Oh, that nade not hitting might give Optic some false information that no player's gonna be in towards the side. Sip and Abizi. It's time to strike. They find the first blood onto Hook. Now already in the 3v4 with only 35 seconds left, Optic have to make a move.
And for me, the biggest thing is that Shotzi's able to pick up that bomb, and he will be able to get into this B site. Sellium ends up dropping Dashy, and I believe he's got the info that Shotzi has got to be on this bomb site. It ends up going down, but in a 2v4. Ghosty on one side of the map, and now it is all left up to Shotzi to try to fend for himself. How long can he hang out? How long can he last? As it's all gonna be up to him, and Faze overwhelm once more. Add it to the tally of first blood, equaling out to a round victory, 4-1.
Stake right there in that round. Optic Texas thought that they have all the information that they needed once they throw that nade in towards that site. No hit markers to show for it, though. That's another first blood in favor of Atlanta Faze. They read the play beautifully, because you had both your SMGs sitting in towards that A site. Rotate back over towards B, cut them all down. Another flawless round from Atlanta Faze, now up 4-1.
So this has just been, I mean, what we expect right out of the best Search Destroy team in the game. It is definitely up there with one of the best S&D teams of all time. Making it look clinical so far. 4-1, can they make it 5? Can they remain perfect in the first bloods? We'll have to find out. And Jay, that's, I mean, the reason why we see the score the way that it is. You're facing off against one of the best S&D teams in the game, and you get to get a first blood on the board. So now you have one hand behind your back. Now you've got both. Texas down in numbers. Can they rally?
So now in the 3v4, Sellium does find himself in a position up towards field side. So they can decide to wrap this bomb back over towards that B point. But with Hook sitting in this corner, he's the guy. He's gonna make sure nothing fishy happens over towards this A bomb. The time is starting to tick. Atlanta Faze now have to make the play call.
He definitely hears it. He definitely hears it, but now at 0-6, at times, Hook has been the savior here on LSCLO Search Destroy, but now can it be Ghosty? Levels it into a 2v2, but bomb has gone down on the other side of the map. It could be a 1v1 that's about to take place. Dashy, he just ran past MC. Sellium from the top side. And it's Slasher on the other. Ghosty, he's got to do it by himself. So many spots. So many occasions where he's been last man alive. Gets the timing. 15 seconds to go. If you're MC, all you have to do is wait. Pressure is on to Ghosty. Puts in some solid shots. But regardless of it, it was going to be an Atlanta Faze round nonetheless. 5-1.
Atlanta Faze found another first blood on the back of a BZ. That's now 5 first bloods in this search and destroy. But I also think if Ghosty, once he finds that second kill onto the player on site, if he kills him before that bomb goes down, probably a completely different round. But the repinch comes in from Sullium, puts himself in a great position, is able to find a final kill on the round. Atlanta Faze at game point.
Well, there's much more to be said, man. I mean, what? First bloods. It comes down to that. Utility toss to BZ eventually does get stopped. Those nades going to be exchanged as Texas look to brute force their way into the bomb site. And Simp, well, he's got a few players just around the corner. You can see Slasher trying to make some moves up toward the top side. Cleverly tries to make some presence felt around the doorway. Texas finally have gotten the first blood. Now what can they do with it? Bomb planted, but here comes the flanks.
Here comes the flanks, but at least you have the man advantage this time around. It's now with only 40 seconds left. Simp's trying to find an opening through bottom pull. He lines up perfectly for Ghosty to take him down. So now in the 4v2, all left up to Slasher. He gets cut down. Now it's all on to Sullium. The trade is there. And Optic Texas take the attacking round, find their very first blood of the map. And it eventually leads to some success. Optic stay alive.
Stay alive for now. 5 rounds to 2, but like we said, it just feels like we're just regurgitating the same information that we always know when it comes to the search and destroy. It is all about the first bloods. Texas finally are able to get their first one of the game, and what do you know? It leads into a round victory. We talk about comebacks. It is not going to be an easy one by any stretch, but you can imagine as well for Hook, if he's able to get on the board, maybe get some momentum flowing, there is a chance they could maybe string a round or 2 together. Quickly into the mattresses we go, and Shotzi able to add in another first blood, so his second one of the game that now extends his streak to 3. Oh, he catches a nade. Nice toss coming in from Simp.
A minute left. Now into 3v3. Atlanta Faze knew that there's a couple players from Optic who are surrounding that A bomb, but now with Hook trying to get his first kill on the map. Dead Silence is no longer on his side, but he puts himself in a great position. I don't know if Atlanta are going to know he's here.
Say, if you're Texas as well, just try to stall out as much time as possible. Dashy dropped by the nade. And with that, the flank from Hook. Spot Slasher. Oh, one more bullet. One more bullet. Would have brought it into the 2v2, but gets the job done nonetheless. It is Simp who plants down the bomb and now will force Texas to come to them.
Hook gets all the info right there, but he goes for the chow onto Slasher. Slasher's able to cut him down, so now left up to the rookie. Can he keep Optic Texas alive with the 1v2 clutch? Time is ticking, but he gets the information at least onto one player.
Slasher, he's just got to escape. Slasher just has to try and waste as much time as possible. Ghosty, realizing such, now has to go for a sprint. Knife is out, and understandably so. This is a search and destroy that is gonna go the way of Atlanta Faze. The knife is out, and it's a knife to the heart to Texas fans as they hope that they could make Faze sweat again here on El Asilo.